involved in that. Can you talk to us about it a bit? Sure. Amanda was between the ages of 16, and she wanted to get emancipated from her parents, which was a fairly common thing with successful young actors, at least at the time.
So, what did you do, Dan? Go on, Dad, educate us. What did you do to this 16-year-old girl that you were putting in highly inappropriate sexual environments for your show, taking hot tub baths with her? We've seen all the clips. What did you do when she said that she wanted to be emancipated from her parents? A 16-year-old girl. What did you do, Dan? Were you his shoulder for her to cry on?
I have a feeling Dan was trying to drive a wedge between Amanda and her parents. This is just like what Brian Peck did with Drake Bell and his parents, and with Drake Bell. I mean, Drake Bell, it worked. It almost worked. It worked for a while until Drake Bell started realizing, oh my God. Until he woke up and found the guy fondling him. Then realized, oh my God. He just realized, oh my God. This dude was trying to drive a wedge between me and my family so that he could have me alone, so he could sexually assault me. It's such a sad story. It really is. Really? Really, like what happened when Alexa came to you and talked to you? What did you do to her? Oh, that's right. You went up to her while she was so traumatized. She was in the fetal position after puking, after vomiting. So she'd been vomiting while running out of the room to crawl somewhere to be in the fetal position, and here comes Dan going, and he's just got that. The way Alexa said it, he had that look on his face like, what did you do now? Blaming the victim. What did you do now? And that's basically when Brittany yelled at her, and I think Brittany still feels horrible about that. I think she always will. But anyway, enough. You weren't there for anybody. All you do is give some of your coworkers and child stars PTSD for the rest of their life. Alexa Nicholas has PTSD now because of you. So, apology not accepted. You mean Jeanette McCurdy, who did not want to do the show anymore because you were viciously abusing her. You are viciously abusing her. And you are trying to be sexual with her. Not only did she have to be terrified of her mother, but she also had to be terrified of Dan. But she also had to be terrified of Dan. I know who he's talking about. I know who he's talking about.
Oh my God, John Schneider, you are the best man ever.
I decided I want to do what most showrunners do, which is you're not on the set. There's a director there to shoot it. I'll go into the writer's room. I'll work on that script. But because everyone was so used to and caring about every detail of every show, so for who to be in a set, yeah, maybe some people thought I got Dan. So it was more of an assumption because this guy's usually here, and now he's not. I don't know if it was an assumption. I don't know if somebody thought they were going to look back by saying I got banned from the set. I have no idea. All I know is I was never banned from the set. Yep. The darkest part of this theory discussed talent credit. Now, I want to make sure that we clear something up. Okay.
How is this an interview where Tebow immediately said, we're going to let Dan answer for himself? But this entire thing is Tebow being like, one thing that really upset me is how they betrayed you here. Can you talk about that? Can we talk about like, this is not an interview. This is like you trying to get your friend out of jail.
Brian Peck was not hired by me. No, I did not hire Brian Peck.
I think you did. I think you did. I think you hired Brian Peck. I think you already knew what kind of a person he was, and I think you hired him. I mean, all the sexual pickle jokes. Really? I mean, alluding to essay, alluding to him being an essay predator. And that oh my God, that know your stars thing where he talks about he likes to hurt and tease pickles.
How is this an interview if this one is giving the other one the information?
And when Drake
Tebow's literally being like, do, and then Dan's going, woo.
and I talked, and he told me what had happened. I was more devastated by that than anything that's ever happened to me in my career thus far. And I
Lost your breath, my friend.
I'm here for you. What do you need? Which Drake mentioned in the show that we watched last night. And next, I heard that he went to court when this guy was being tried. And when Drake walked in, he saw 50 people sitting on the side of the courtroom supporting Pat. A lot of them pretty famous. Of course, Drake was devastated that happened. And even more disappointing, 41 of those people wrote letters for Pat, character letters, praising him for who he was.
And I'm sure you won the right one too, babe.
They wanted to confess to some degree, and they still did this.
Maybe windy or something like that.
That's baffling that adults would do that.
Hello, in front of you right now. It's shocking and terrifying that adults would do that. Said from
it's baffling that adults would defend a pedophile, but it's not. But it's not baffling. But it's not baffling that you literally had a girl laying on her back, pouring water on herself, and saying, "I'm thirsty." Give me a break.
Down Schneider, by the way.
And I don't know if people know this, but Drake's mom, a lovely woman, stayed in contact with his dad. She came to me at the time, and she said, "Dan, I'm not good with words like you are." And
Yeah, he was upset when he found out the kid boy died.
the judge, yes, of course, that is.
Whoa, he turned that on quick, didn't he? Shit!
Most
That was
days he
impressive!
sometimes 2 or 3 times.
What the fuck? That was so impressive! I have never seen someone turn that on so quick. What?
Him for who he was,
That was impressive!
and they knew that he was guilty. They knew he was guilty.
Hmm.
He started married, and they still did it. It's that's baffling. Adults would do that. And I don't know if people know this, but Drake's mom,
Of course he was gonna cry. But he turned on so quick. Wait.
and she said, "Dan, I'm not good with words like you are." And
Sorry. My favorite way of telling if someone's really My favorite thing people do when they fake cry is they will do the voice and the face of someone who has been crying for a few minutes, but there's no tears. You only do that after a couple minutes of crying, or a couple seconds at least of crying. Like there has to be tears because it changes your voice, it changes your face. So if someone does that voice instantaneously,
Yeah, I mean, Dan, if you wanted to make it effective, you could have cut the camera off and snipped an onion,
before you can do that.
and then turn the camera back on and say, I mean, I've sniffed an onion and I cried for like hours. That's what an onion will do to you. I mean, I was literally crying for like no reason. It was weird.
Whoa, that is impressive. He was not fully committed to that. He was like, "7 seconds we got him crying. 7 seconds of crying."
going to prison and serving his time. And yeah, that was
Isn't it crazy that he's just not crying now? When merely seconds ago he was crying.
Yeah, that's when you're trying to look sympathetic. That's when you're trying to look sympathetic.
and was my knowledge a registered sex offender. He was hired on a Disney show.
He was hired with you first. That doesn't take away from Disney Channel, but he was hired with you first.
I never. Yeah, I appreciate you okay for
What? You okay, man? You okay, man? You want to take a minute? You okay, man? You want to take a minute?
No, you're not, motherfucker! What? Both of you are fucking lunatics! You think we've unpacked some great things here.
Oh shit.
Chick-fil-A salad, would that mean, like, what do you mean?
He set the record straight on a lot of things before we got out of here. I appreciate the vulnerability of you even knowing that you're
He's not even being vulnerable. That shit was fake.
Is there anything that you haven't discussed?
That wasn't vulnerability.
Think that if you could go back and navigate the journey differently, what would that look like? Yeah.
What does the journey unimaginable. They'd be the worst thing imaginable, and then they look back on it and go, "That was part of the journey."
Definitely things that I would do differently. One that I think would be really, really important is when you're hiring young actors, minors, to work in television, I would suggest that you have a licensed therapist there to
But didn't you take on that role? You just admitted that you took that role on. That's one of the problems, by the way. We didn't dive into that, but that's one of the problems.
oversee that process
Hmm.
for the specific reason of making sure that those kids really wanted to do this job, that they really wanted to be on television. Make them be informed about what that means. What's it going to mean if you're famous? What's that going to mean?
But you don't want them to be like that because then they'll be a little bit self-aware, but you don't want the kids to be self-aware.
What's it going to mean within your family? Let them find out. And in that way, if a kid doesn't want to be on a TV show, they can opt out. That psychologist, that therapist who come to us and say this kid isn't wanting to do it, or their parents aren't understanding what's going to come. And then we can avoid the mistake of ever putting a kid in a TV show that didn't want to do that.
Like,
I hate this so much.
The main thing that I would change is how I treat
like, why is this?
Yeah, they are. My mom did say this. Thank you, Nat, for your hard work, by the way. This stuff. My mom's saying this as well. It's like he's ending this with he just blamed Disney. He shifted the focus to Disney Channel, which we can focus on that too. But like, we're here to talk about you. But now he's blaming your children. Now he's like, we'll make sure and get your children are prepared for this.
everyone. I definitely do give people the best in me. I give people
He's saying, well, the past children weren't prepared, so it's their fault.
Blame the innocent
So it's their fault,
such a victim.
and it's the parents' fault.
so sorry.
No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. They're fucked up. It's your fault they're fucked up. It's your fault that all these child stars are fucked up, Daniel. Or fucked up, Dan Snyder. It's your fault. Oop. In some people's. Some people. So you're skipping over Alexa. You're skipping over Alexa Nicholas. Basically, you're skipping over Alexa Nicholas. So, of course, you're skipping over how you treated Alexa Nicholas. So that's great. That's just so great. No, you wouldn't. You would not be nicer. You would not be nicer. You would do the exact same shit you were doing that you got fired for. You would be doing the exact same shit you got fired for. You're never gonna change. You're never gonna change. For some reason, I do believe him when he said that he actually does care about Drake, because I mean the fact that Dan is, I respect that Drake Bell had a positive experience with Dan Snyder, but other people didn't. But nobody else did.
Which is fascinating because you said that you were never in control. You said that everyone passed through it. So why are you saying, I wish I could listen to my team more? When you said in the past, you never listened to them.
Problem is, once you were rewarded, once Dan Snyder was rewarded, that gave him way more control. That gave him way more control.
What is the truth, Dan?
Just like with Kevin Spacey, once he started getting all the Oscars, and stuff, that gave him like way more control. That gave him way more control, and he was able to get away with. He was able to, get away with sexually assaulting young boys. And yes, I think I know for a fact he's guilty. I don't care if he was found innocent. He's guilty. He's guilty. I still think Marilyn Manson's guilty.